Here we go!
Hey, Blue Blurs, what is up, what is up, what is up? This is Gamer Blake 90, your proud chief of the Blue Blurs, and for a limited period of time, the Pink Blurs as well. There, now that I said that, Amy has no excuse to get upset with me when this video is done with, unless he ends up getting a game over. But throughout this playthrough, I think we've lost like, what, only 2 lives? So, I'm not too worried about that. But I am worried about this stage's Act 1 boss, because I remember it all too well, and the last time I dealt with it, it was not all that great. If you watched my Sonic playthrough with game already, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those who haven't, it'll be in a playlist I've compiled for this game, Sonic 3D Blast in 2D, or Sonic 3D in 2D as it's more officially known. So definitely check that out. It's a fun experience. Anyway, in this video, we're going to be closing out the Amy Rose playthrough of Sonic 3D Blast in 2D as we go to the game's final stage, the Panic Puppet Zone. Which I'm sort of happy about, honestly, because this stage boasts one of the best soundtracks for a final stage that I've ever heard, in my honest opinion, as heard on the Sega Saturn, of course. And it also uses, the pastime version of Sonic CD's Wacky Workbench as inspiration for a majority of the stage's design. You see this in both Acts 1 and 2. It's also mixed in with the structure from what I think is one of the multiplayer stages from Sonic 3, so I can't quite recall the name of it. Like, I recall the soundtrack for it. It's like a nighttime stage with these green structures all around it that resemble the one we're seeing here right now. Or maybe I am confusing it for another stage. Like, I recall the soundtrack, but I can't remember the name of it. And I barely ever tinker around with the multiplayer mode as it is, because with me, it's usually a one-man army. Okay, thank goodness. Mashing the hammer repeatedly definitely gave me some protection there. And look at that. Green glass canister with the flickies inside them. That's a subtle callback to the flicky mechanic that came into play for the first act of the original 3D Blast Panic Puppet Zone. You had to save the flicky by freeing them from those cages, but in the second act, your quest to free them was over because there weren't any more to save, which was... oh shoot! Hold up, what's up there? Is that a route I go through commonly? I'm not too sure. Now, some of the propellers built into the ground will take you up to much higher height than others will, and I think the rings above them will give away that fact, as you have just seen. That stack of rings right there was just above a propeller that was going to fly high enough to get up here, and thank goodness we found that electric shield, because, well, never mind! Stupid toy. Ah, no, there was an extra life. I didn't even see it there up until now. But if I can take that elevator again, I should be able to get it. Can I take it again? Nope. They're purely one way. Ah, well. No. What do you think you're doing? Seriously? Amy, you had one job. You can't even use that hammer of yours to press switches. And I guess you can't use them to swat away toy helicopters now. Girl, what's wrong with you? And you wonder why Sonic had to save you every time. Okay, so we have those conveyor belts right there that we have to manipulate the direction for by finding a switch, just like I did like the very start of this act. There's another one right there. Luckily for me, I practiced through the first half of this act a fair bit before actually starting up this video, as I did have to collect a thumbnail for it, hopefully a good looking thumbnail at that. Although when you beat the game, you're then allowed to start it back over from any stage you want, including the last one. Knowing this, I probably didn't need to collect a thumbnail first before recording this video. I could have just done it after. But hey, you do what you gotta do, right? Now the hammer flip is going to come in very, very handy for a stage like this. Can we even get up there? Or will the propeller be enough? Please let it be enough. No. Okay, wow. That hammer flip actually almost did the trick, but unfortunately still not high enough. Well, crap. Okay, this is a little worrisome. I think we're stuck. Oh, wow, what did I do exactly to give myself that little boost in my jump height after I jumped off that crane? That's a weird little mechanic behind these cranes with at, and it's not entirely clear how you intentionally trigger it. But it's sort of like having watching the playthrough from start to finish, so I'm sure he'll let me know what exactly that is, because I'm sure I'm missing something. He's been very educational about what exactly has inspired this game's design from start to finish, and I deeply appreciate him for that. as well as the fact that he designed what may very well be one of my favorite fan games to play, because it's one of the few, but I tend to revisit the most. I know that for some stages, the design can be a little weird and sometimes frustrating, and Pen and Puppet's first act is definitely no exception to that, but all in all, it's a fun experience. And for those of you that haven't given this game a chance yet, I wholeheartedly recommend it. You'll have to find a degree of challenge from it, but that was intended on part of the creator. I probably should not... Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know if I had a choice in the matter trying to use a hammer spin to get that fire shield. Because the attack rate in the thing can be very huge at times. Alright, Shade of the Marble Zone, where you break open blocks and proceed past them. And we're greeted by yet another toy helicopter. Maybe I should start a toy company. Those things would sell very well. As long as he's not using birds to power his toys, of course. It's been his lifelong ambition for whatever reason. Collected the animal population to enslave them. And we can't have that. Or to stop you right here and now, Eggman. Oh, by the way, Jim Carrey, the guy that played Eggman in the Sonic movie, recently received an award for portraying his best villain role. Many props to him for the award. Like, seriously, dude, the Sonic movie was insanely successful. I see a spring underneath the Eggman monitor, so if you wonder why I intentionally broke it, that's why. That's kind of a cool joke, though. Why would you put an Eggman monitor over a spring? That choice in design kind of flies over my head. Maybe it wasn't intentional? Or maybe it might have been, because, as I said a multiple amount of times, Amy Rose is basically hard mode for Sonic 3D and 2D. Perhaps harder than necessary sometimes, and the Act 1 boss is definitely going to push the actual limit, because here it is. Now, this contraption you may recognize from the boss battle scene in Death Egg Act 2 from Sonic 3, but there'll be some new rules governing it. I think Tails going to give me a hand here? Yes, he is. Shade of the Marble Garden boss, but with some dramatically different rules. Do not touch those things because they will hurt. Your objective is to attack that weak point that will eject itself from the other side of the boss after it launches its electric lasers like that. Now, if you are skilled enough, you can actually jump back over where Tails is waiting to grab you once you have landed your first attacks, but right now I'm not doing too well at that. I think part of it has to do with the direction the boss's weak point is facing as you are jumping off of it. There we go. That definitely helped there. Like all the bosses, that will require 8 hits, but unlike most Act 1 bosses, this one does not have only a singular phase of combat to worry about. You've seen a glimpse of that with the last few bosses we faced in the Act 1 for Volcano Valley and Gene Gadget. And it's definitely no different with this final stage. Luckily, we cleared out that one rather easily. Oh boy, this second phase, on the other hand, is the reason that I experienced so much grief, to the point that I got a game over trying to figure this out. You gotta be very careful. You gotta be super careful. You have the drill attack, but you have to contend with. And, Tails can sometimes feel awkward to move in this boss battle. See? Ah! Oh god, I was a little worried that I'd run right into those fuel thrusters, because those two have hit boxes! And what I'm most worried about is losing my rings. If you do lose your rings, you're not gonna be able to pick them back up, period, because they'll all fall off screen and there's no way to get them back. Let's see. Come on, can I hit them off screen? Crap, no I can't. Alright, got a little over 2 minutes to collect my bearings. That didn't go too well. Incoming life loss, people. I can just tell it's gonna happen. I can just tell it's gonna happen. But yeah, you are hearing the American version of the Sonic CD boss track. And you know... Oh god, no, Tails! I know you... Actually, I kind of screwed myself over there trying to attack him from behind, and I definitely moved myself in that fuel thruster by mistake. But yeah, that is the American version of the Sonic CD boss theme. The infinitely more intimidating version. I'm gonna have to plan my attack very carefully. Let's time this one. There we go! Ah! Okay, thank goodness we didn't lose our rings. Not something I can afford to let happen. He's gonna throw his drills out again, and I'm not gonna be able to reach him on time. This would be a good time to have Sonic help me out here. But then what could he do? Use a tornado? I wonder how that would work if you use a tornado in this boss fight instead of... Well, thank you, Tails! I'm surprised my dual attack took so long to activate. Well, that didn't work. Come on, Amy, move, 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 move. Move, move, move. Jump! How the heck do you miss that? Okay, there we go, there we go. Luckily, the boss doesn't actually reappear until you are currently active in the fight yourself. So that definitely helps. Now what? Stay still, let the jewels come out. Oh my... Crap. I don't know why, but for some reason while I'm fighting this boss, and I know Amy has nothing to do with recollection I'm about to share, but it makes me think of a Sonic OVA. That scene where, Eggman captured the king's daughter and... and it's saying something about marrying her. Like, I had to know, how old is the girl exactly? And what is up with his taste? Yo, the OVA was crazy. Oh wow, we actually avoided the drills. Because Lord knows Tail wasn't too helpful there. You know, I might have been blaming him a little bit too much. Now he's definitely proving his worth. Oh yeah, the flying battery cannon. Can I get up there and sneak in a hit? Nope. Could Tails hit him from underneath? Move. Could Tails hit him from underneath? Assuming he can even move fast enough to do that. Wow! I'm actually getting pretty decent at avoiding this boss attacks now. What the heck? Did anybody else hear the repeated sound effect of Tails getting hit over and over after that laser attack happened, or was it just me? Maybe my audio screwed up there. I think it did. Well, I think we're dead, people. Or not, thankfully. I guess we're immune while we're respawning in this... Oh my god, Amy! Ah! Okay, that time I messed up. That time I messed up. Laser attack. Then move over here, then move to the left. Yo, this boss is costing me so much effort. Come on, move down! I feel I stand a better chance when Eggman is moving vertically through the screen when trying to hit him. Like that. Oh my god! We're barely missing these attacks. Okay, but we have less than a minute. No dual attack here. I very much prefer the laser. That's so much easier to avoid, I'll tell you that. Yes! Haha! We finally got him. And that took me like, let's see, 3 attempts. Way fewer than when I last fought this boss with Sonic. That is a blessing. Alright, Amy. I see you. I see you. I see you. And thank you so much for the save, Tails. You were like 75% useful, 25% not so useful. I feel like I learned to control him a lot better for the purposes of this boss. The benefits of experience. Uh-oh. Sadly, Tails gonna be able to go into the second act, but Knuckles-sama will give us a helping hand. Give it a lift, boy! Thank you so much. And with that, we'll go into the second act of Panic Puppet. Sorry it took us so long to even get to this point. But I think the wait was worth it. In another timeline, I was a fantastic guitarist. I really hope there was another timeline where I was great with an instrument. But the main times I often regret that I'm not. Oh boy, Shades of Sonic 2 Metropolis Zone. The corkscrews have returned. Be very careful not to stay on these for too long while you're trying to move them upwards, which by the way is done by running towards the right with a run dash. We're calling it run dash because Amy can't spin. And if you move towards the left, you will lower the corkscrew instead. Also, we see a change in the background for Panic Puppet, where there is no longer a pink sky, but instead a blue sky. Most likely meant to signify the ray of hope that has just shown on Flicky Island. We breached the heart of Eggman's base, and we are all but headed towards the final showdown, so let's go. And with Amy no less. Crazy things have happened in the Sonic universe. I was so fond of how much Amy grew as a character in Sonic Adventure. Usually this character annoys the heck out of me, just hearing her talk. Mostly in the English version, maybe she's a lot more tolerable in Japanese, but either way. This girl gets on my nerve as much as she gets on Sonic's nerve. But then you play as her in Sonic Adventure, especially up towards the end, and you just find yourself rooting for her. You know what that's called? That's called character growth. And I miss that in the modern cast, man. I so badly want to see that come back like you have no idea. I know we've been through a lot, hoping for what was to come for the next Sonic game, but for 30th anniversary, I still have high hopes. A lot of high hopes, man. Alright, so the conveyor belt seems to be very involuntary right now. I'm a little worried because I didn't activate the switch. Is there even a switch around here that I can go to is a question. Can we take this elevator back? Crap, we can't take this elevator back. We might be... Hold on. Alright, you know what? We're gonna try this. Wow, that actually worked. I get Amy is learning how to go fast. Oh, well, running right into a bad mixture snapped me out of my funk. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and the mountains have changed color too. They're no longer a dark red like in Act 1, they're more of a tree trunk brown. With some shading thrown in to, probably to, exaggerate the fact that we're seeing sunshine in this stage too. You don't see the sun itself, of course, but from the fact there is a blue sky, it would make sense that there are rays of sunshine. I really love how this background was so constructed. I said it earlier, but again, Sodanuk's work with this game was beyond fantastic. And though we are sadly bidding farewell to this next series at the end of this video, we will be revisiting this game one more time to play as Shadow. And probably Tails and Knuckles as well, but what... Interesting. Oh! I didn't even know that was there! Like, I just thought of doing the hammer flip for the heck of it to see what was up there, and I didn't realize there was a breakable wall. Yo, this game gets cooler and cooler by the day. And that's part of what made the Sonic Classic so fantastic. The multiple pathways that so dramatically expanded the level you were playing in. That was always one of the strongest elements in them, and I'm glad to see that that element was maintained in this fan game. I really, really am. Okay, so I'm now inside Panic Puppet itself. Not gonna get a look at the pretty blue sky anymore, and I'm sure Amy is just dismayed over that. She's probably a sucker for nature herself. But that's alright. It'll all be worth it once all of it is over and done with. Is there a breakable piece of ground right here? The answer seems to be no. I only see rings, and what looks like a section built specifically for Tails. I don't see how Amy could get there herself. And for that matter, I don't even know what Shadow's capabilities are in this game. I couldn't begin to tell you how he plays. That's what I'm most interested in, honestly. With the Amy moveset, Sonic's moveset, Tails and Knuckles are plainly obvious. But Shadow in a 2D game like this, Hence the reason why we'll be revisiting this game again eventually, but I'm gonna let it take some time to rest up, because I've already showcased this game twice, and there are plenty of other games out there that I've got to give some love to. Yo, this soundtrack, I'm gonna have to listen to this after this video is done with. Seriously, how many toy helicopters am I gonna run into? Too bad we're about to close this place down like Toys R Us. Go away, for God's sake. I am officially developing a phobia of toy helicopters thanks to this stage. Amy, seriously? I didn't even want to fathom how terrible Amy would be with a fly swatter. Y'all know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. Hold up, did anybody else see that? I just barely missed it because we took the elevator down, but we actually glimpsed Angel Island. I didn't even know you would see it in this act. While playing through it, I thought you had to beat the game first, and then get your glimpse of Angel Island. That is new to me. I thought it was only a thing for the credits. Like, I barely managed to catch it just before that elevator went down. Hopefully we get to go out to the exterior of it act again so y'all can get a better look. Did I even want to come down here? Is it worth it for that? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna grab that shield, because I have a feeling that though we can't use a homing attack property associated with it, we will definitely need it for the Act 2 boss. Once you play the original 3D Blast, you will know how it works, only it's all purely done on the 2D plane, and there are some differences, but are minor at best. Oh my... Once again, Blake, we're failing to learn to get into the habit of making consecutive button presses if we ever want to enjoy speed sections like this, because otherwise we're just in for a world of pain. I think the one thing about this series that I could never ever get used to. The one thing about this character, I mean. That said, I'm surprised we didn't end up getting any game overs at all playing with this character, but I got one with Sonic. Methinks my Sonic skills could use some work. Now, the Sega Genesis soundtrack used this fan game, you would hear the Sonic 3 final boss theme. Instead, you hear, the Sonic CD boss theme as heard in the American version once again. Alright, I have a new strategy for this boss. I'm gonna let both these claws land first, and then go on the attack, so I make it less likely to be hit. I think that'll work out. I think that's working out just fantastic, in fact. Well, we lost one of my rings. And I don't want to... What the heck? That ring actually came back. What the heck happened off screen? That caused it to be sent back to me. We're stuck with like one ring though, but hopefully one is all I'll need. That's it for the first phase. And I guess my strategy at avoiding them worked pretty well. Don't just wait for one claw to land, let both them land instead. And, now the devices that are casting out the flamethrowers themselves don't have hitboxes. It's only when they're actually attacking you that there'll be something to worry about. And with each flamethrower that goes off, the weak point located directly next to it will activate. I know weak point is kind of a weird choice of words to describe things like that. It's accurate though, but it can sound a little repetitive at times. I need something better. Either way, there's a dark blue dome on the boss's body that will activate whenever a flamethrower goes off. You're gonna want to be as quick as you can to land the attack, and try to make the flames travel around the screen so they don't hit you while you're doing so. Because the fewer hits that you can take, the better. Come on! Nice, 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 nice. And we have less than 2 minutes. I said this in my last video, but the time in this game really does get away from you. Especially when you're commentating it. Okay. How many more hits do we need for that second flamethrower before it goes away? Nice. Sadly, that last flamethrower doesn't go away up until the transition to the third phase actually happens, so pay close attention to that. Now, this one I think is the easiest out of all three of the phases, and here's why. Start on the left. They will always fire in a clockwise fashion. First, the first shot will be headed in your direction, and then it will travel in an opposite direction, forming a circle. Time your attacks accordingly, like this. And I wonder if you could score multiple hits all in one attempt. In fact, I hope so, because we're running out of time. Yes! Ha ha! Alright. Alright. Come on, come on. Okay, shoot. If I remember right, each side of the boss takes 4 hits to beat per phase. Well, crap. Uh-oh. 30 seconds! Someone could not have chosen a more appropriate theme for this occasion. I think we need to deliver 2 or 3 more hits. Hopefully we can do it, because we only have 20 seconds! Okay, we got it. Just in time. With like, what, 14 or 15 seconds left? That was stress-inducing. And oh, look at that! The flickies are coming in. That must signify the fact that because we found all the Chaos Emeralds, we've unlocked the final fight. Alright, baby. It all boils down to this. You see me take on this guy before, and now we're about to do it again. With the pink demon, Amy Rose, the new savior of the world. So let's go. Final fight, boy! This soundtrack is all kinds of scary and epic at the same time. Look at this, man! This is such a well-made 2D rendition of the final fight boss, I gotta say. How it works is... Now, of course, you'll remember it if you played the original 3D Blast. But let's not remember the fact that I executed that first phase rather poorly. Those 2 hands right there will fire lasers off in the opposite directions. Avoid 6 of them, and then you'll have your chance to attack. As each phase of this boss completes themselves, Eggman will leave himself vulnerable, and you'll be able to press your offense then. However, I want to warn you of this right now, and I found this out the hard way the first time I played this boss. Unlike in the original 3D Blast, there are no invisible walls to box you into this arena. You can fall off both sides of this platform and die. So quite obviously, you're going to want to watch your footing while you are fighting this guy. And it's quite an ordeal. Someone that pulled no punches with this guy. And the worst part is, this isn't even the only phase of this boss to contend with. Alright. Those missiles are pretty easy to avoid. Just stand on one side of, well, crap. Didn't do a good job avoiding that. But, whoa. I'm not paying attention right now. I think out of all the attacks this boss has to offer, that one is the most difficult to avoid. Unless, now I think about it, could I have used Hammer Flame? That might have actually been very helpful. You know what I'm realizing? I think what this is a changed up version of one of the boss soundtracks. Like, you can definitely hear some similarities with it and its original version, if anybody is listening closely to it. Or again, it's just me going nuts, but I don't think I am. Okay, never mind. I thought for a minute we're about to have to avoid the missiles again, and then remember we gotta deal with this hand drop. Which will happen 4 times in succession, by the way. The first 3 will be from overhead, and then he'll stretch his hands out to both sides and then clap them back together. That's pretty easy to avoid, though. Nothing to it. Now we're gonna go over here, and then run along the course to make all of those missiles miss, and kaboom. Let me try the hammer flip. Wow! Yo! I think that was the easiest time I've ever actually had avoiding that phase. That was so cool. Jump, duck. Ah! Oh no. Oh god, I'm being so clumsy right now. That's completely on me. That is so on me. Woo, pretty flamethrower colors, blue and red. How fitting. Is that the last hit? Yes, it is. Takes 12 hits in total to take this guy out, but just to warn you, you're not done yet. We did find all the Chaos Emeralds, but throughout the game, we haven't been able to unlock Amy's super form. I think this is where it comes into play, though. Eggman's running on the Death Egg robot, which looks like it's received some customizations in Sonic 3. And here we are, boy, Amy Rose in her super form, and oh gosh, she looks so good. Wow, she looks incredible. I never thought the day would come when I would be seeing Amy in her super form. Now, you have access to a dash mechanic, much like how Super Sonic can use one in Sonic Mania when he fights the Egg Reverie boss, but be warned, with each use of it, it speeds up your consumption of rain, and if you fall below 10, you cannot use the dash. Which is why you're going to want to slow down once in a while, replenish your rings, and then press the attack as fast as you can. And I think we're doing pretty well, all things considered. Picking it up as well. And of course, if you take a hit, you're gonna get bounced back and left unable to move for a while. Can we catch up to him? Alright, before I even try the dash attack, I'm gonna pick up some more rings first. Oh, we're less than 10 now. We can't dash. That's not good. That's not good. We can't dash right now. We have to dash or we're never gonna be able to catch up. Okay, that still wasn't enough. Oh yeah, by the way, did I mention it's a final boss soundtrack with Sonic CD as heard in the Japanese version? Best choice of music you could have ever made for a boss like this, dude. And we did it! We have knocked Dr. Eggman out, beaten the final boss, and gotten the opportunity to showcase Super Amy in style. Was that not incredible? I never thought the day would come when I see this little pink demon with super form of her own. She may really be a demon. Imagine Hyper Amy? I wonder if it's a Sonic 3 AIR mod floating around that gives Amy a hyper form, huh? All things considered, though, this was a fun experience with the character and this game as a whole. And you got there a nice little cutscene where we use the Chaos Emeralds to restore Flicky Island to its regular form. By the way, I should apologize for something regarding my Sonic playthrough. I wound up confusing Angel Island for Flicky Island, failing to remember they were 2 entirely separate locations. Sonic 3 takes place on Angel Island, and of course Sonic 3D Blast takes place on Flicky Island. But it was so nice of Sodanuck to slip that reference in there. It was so nice of him. This game is such a love letter to the Sonic series. For a fan game, that's awesome. And you know, this credit soundtrack, I believe it's called You're My Hero. And the first time I ever heard it was when I played this game with the Saturn soundtrack, and I have to add that to my staggering list of reasons why I'm so resentful over the fact that I never actually played the Saturn version of this game purely because I didn't own a Sega Saturn. I had a CD, I had a regular Genesis, I have a 32X extension that was very short-lived, making sure my controller didn't fall off, and of course I have a Sega Dreamcast, but not the Saturn. One of life's biggest regrets for me! But you know what? Sona Nuk was a lifesaver in that regard, because now I've got to make up for some of those regrets. I didn't play the actual 3D Blast on Saturn, but I did play the Genesis version, so I guess it was close enough. Still though, the Saturn version has a tremendous amount of differences that make it worth checking out in my honest opinion. So yeah guys, that is it for Amy Rose and Sonic 3D and 2D. And as I stated earlier, Shadow is also playable in this game. You'll see the design for the Shadow sprites come up, well the credit for the Shadow sprites, excuse me, popping up somewhere at the bottom of the credits screen. Many thanks to all of these guys that teamed up with Sona Nuk to bring to us this staggeringly amazing fan game. If you have not yet checked it out for yourself, I implore you to do so. The download link will be in the description directly below this video. You may find some frustration with it as far as level design is concerned. I'm not gonna front about that, but it's definitely worth powering through them. Trust me on that. So we got Amy running by herself. No Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles in sight. Does she have a variation to her ending of the credits screen? With Sonic, you see the golden trio running along the green road though until they board with Tornado and take off. But poor Amy is all by her lonesome. So she probably prefers it that way, because just like in Sonic Adventure, she said that she would make that Sonic respect her. And I think that's exactly what she made happen. As far as the gameplay went, you could definitely tell throughout the entire series that it was very, very unsettling to adjust to. Although I definitely enjoyed her extreme advantage she had against most of the bosses, solely because extended hitbox with her hammer attacks. It was so freaking broken in my honest opinion, but broken in a good way, and I was glad for it. It definitely made this ordeal a lot more bearable. Wait, a gold ring? I guess that was Amy's means of transportation to leave the credit scene. Oh yeah, and you're also treated to Eggman throwing a fit and being deposited next to the Perfect Chaos mural at Rusty Ruins.
First I can beat a hedgehog and now I can't even beat a little girl? What is wrong with me?
Shout out to Jim Carrey for winning the award of Best Villain Ever for the Sonic movie. Really fitting for him. Huh?
Huh? What? What? Blockles?
What? Do you want to explain that? Where did Bluckles come from? Bluckles? Knuckles in blue? What? I did not expect that! I'm speechless. I did not expect that! I thought after Shadow was unlocked, you'd unlocked everybody. Clearly not. What? Somebody's got some explaining to do. That much is for certain. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Yo, what an ending to this series. Sona Nuk, are you just trying your absolute best to get me to keep showcasing this fan game? Because if you are, you're doing a pretty good job. Of course, I already promised you all a Shadow playthrough, so that is definitely going to be next in line. And I guess I'll have to add Bluckles to the That's gonna take some getting used to. Bluckles as in blue Knuckles. Now, I think I have glimpsed some images of Knuckles in blue before, probably a mod or perhaps a glitch that may have happened with the original Sonic 3, maybe something like that. I have no idea. I have no idea how it originated, but I'll have to give Bluckles, oh god, it's gonna take some getting used to. I'll have to give Bluckles some attention for another playthrough. However, I showcased this game in its entirety twice already, so it's time to put it to bed for now. And I do need to showcase the original 3D Blast at this point, with a twist to it. But that'll be for later. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Amy Rose and Sonic 3D Blast in 2D. I definitely hope Sona Nuk enjoyed it himself as well, as he should be proud of this gift that he has given us, the fan game community. And I can't wait to see what else he does. I believe he's working on mods for Sonic 3 AIR right now, so haven't checked him out yet? I recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, well, you better be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, because there will be more playthroughs along the way for many other Sonic games out there to cover. I might even do some playthroughs over the Game Gear titles. And I'm basically saying that to reassure those that keep asking for them. Those will probably take a little more effort than the other playthroughs I'm working on, so bear with me. Thank you all for watching, and now I'm gonna give myself a well-deserved break before I start doing the much-needed editing for the finale to the series, and I will see you all next time. Until then, peace! Blue blurs for life, and pink blurs for life, Amy. You're the hero this time, so you definitely deserve your acknowledgement. I'll see you all later. Take care.